I grew up in a Lahore that was known as the City of Gardens because it was the City of Gardens. Unfortunately, since about 2015, we have not been able to see those blue skies in Lahore because we now have this season known as the Lahore Smog. What is now the smog season was Lahore's most beautiful season. Whether you look at October, November before the winter, or you look at Feb, March, which is spring. And the fact that my children can't cycle outdoors, they can't play outdoors, they can't enjoy Lahore the way we used to was very upsetting for me. This Women's Day, I'd like to say that every woman should secure the most existential threat to us, to all of humanity, and demand climate justice. I am the secretary of this consortium called Afforestation Lahore that since 2019 has been working with various bodies of the government to bring back the City of Gardens. And then I'm also part of the government smog committee, and I sit on the board of the Punjab Wildlife board, which was recently appointed. In the last 10 years, Lahore lost 75% of its tree cover. So just very broad calculations also told us off the bat that in order to gain back the appropriate tree cover needed for the population that Lahore has now, we would need to plant about 15 million trees in 5 years. And Lahore is an overdeveloped, sprawling city with a mushrooming population, leaving very little space for green cover. And so something that we've struggled with and we continue to struggle with is the idea that in order for Lahore to be a healthy city, a thriving city, it needs large spaces dedicated as carbon sinks. We met with brick walls everywhere with the government. Nobody was even willing to listen to this idea, particularly because it's a very expensive, it requires a lot of expensive execution. But we sort of kept at it. We kept pecking away. And like I said, it led us to the creation of the Liberty Forest on 1 acre, right in the heart of Lahore, along with LDA. And even then, it took a while for them to actually see the growth of Liberty Forest 1 year on, for them to understand the value and potential of Miyawaki forests. And now, I kid you not, across Pakistan, every city is scrambling around trying to put a Miyawaki forest up. So that just shows how a little thing can mushroom and become so big. At that time, it was, myself, Qudsiya, and our project manager, Sualeha, who were the only women. And, we were dealing with LDA, we were dealing with PHA, we were, of course, dealing with the sponsors and the government, etc. But at no point did I feel handicapped or did I feel that, I'm not being heard. So I think that every woman should 100% absolutely believe in their power and potential to do small things that can lead to high impact change. So while the will is there to plant trees, connecting that with the idea of appropriate urban planning and leaving enough spaces for green cover is something that we still struggle with. People tend to view climate change and the environment as a trade-off with development, business, progress. And it's not like that at all. Anyone who has even a basic understanding about how the environment impacts economy, livelihood, progress, growth, development will tell you that there's no question about it. We absolutely have to take action now, or your economy will be the first to suffer. Whereas somebody with a lack of understanding and a regressive mindset will view it as a trade off, that nahi, agar aap development and environment pe focus karenge to aapki economy suffer karegi. No woman I've ever met will, view it as a trade off. Women are very clear that, of course, we need to make sure that Lahore is a safe, healthy, clean city for our children or for us. It's a real leveler, this smog, because whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you sit in a car, whether you sit on a bike, the smog affects all of us, and it concerns everybody living in Lahore. So I think that there's no argument anymore or debate anymore about whether or not we need to combat the smog. It's about how we're going to do it.